With the bunny world I am making, I wanted rulers for this island, and the best way I thought is there being ranks of them, such as queens closest to God that rule the whole island, queens and princesses who rule the lands, and citizens. Here's the map of the bunny island, and I wanted there to be seasonal rulers for the highest tier queens. Instead of there being seasons through the year, I wanted them to have an all year round depending on what place they live at, like in Barbie Life in the Dream House where it's always summer, or like in Tinkerbell. So why not make the top rulers who are for the seasons? Spring, summer, fall, and winter. They are going to be the highest rulers, just like in My Little Pony with Celestia and Luna, where they're kind of intertwined with the balance of nature and magic. I don't know yet if I want to add magic in this world, but for the 4 queens I decided that they are closer to the god who made them. Which, speaking about the god who made them, I will be making a video of how this world came to be in the future. For right now, let's just get started on designing the bunnies. I know it looks like I just jumped into drawing their designs, but I did before this make a collage of how I wanted the bunnies' aesthetics to look like, just so that I can get an idea of what I wanted. After that, I let it marinate in my head, just so that I could get my brain flowing with some ideas. Once I did that, I finally started sketching digitally. I think some of the lore that will come with this is that the queens are all sisters, as the god who made this island made them to protect the purity of this place. With the bunny island being a utopia, there has to be a way to keep this in check without the god having to intervene, since it takes too much power. So the god gave each of them attributes to help keep the peace and order of this island. How do these queens keep the island in check, you might ask? A prince and princess school. You might question how this keeps everything in check, and that's because I wanted them to be so high up in rank that they keep the B rank bunnies to rule to keep the island running. This is because there's a massive population of them that 4 rulers isn't enough for them to go around. So instead of trying to help the issue all around the places, they make sure to keep the B rank bunnies in check so that the C rank bunnies don't do anything they are not supposed to. This might divide the lands into the rulers' rules, but since they follow how the 4 sisters taught them, then the island has a form of balance. With the bunnies, I wanted to give them their own pictures that correlated with each other. So to set it up, I split my canvas into 4 so that I could see how it would look like together in the final product. I didn't really put them in a specific order, and just in a way to make it look good with the colors I chose for each of them. Spring and summer are on top and winter and autumn are on the bottom. Now that I know what I like for each bunny, I started on spring first. Aelia is the name I chose for her, as she bloomed from a flower born to become a queen. Her dress is green for the grassy spring, giving us a symbol of how she is just grass, but with her citizens that bloom, they make the fields full of life. I decided to make her the youngest as she gives off a vibe of more childlike and free. The kingdom Aelia has built in this section of land has become one of the most peaceful places to be living in. I think that this part of the land would have more stuff that looks cottagecore and whimsical than the other sisters. She's the one who has the most crops sold through the island, since there's always a perfect weather for most kinds of vegetables and fruits. Even though she is the youngest, she also has to keep everything afloat, as she has the most viable resources for the bunnies on the island. This makes her area the richest in agriculture. Channy was the name I chose for the summer bunny, which means sand, as she was formed with the sands of the beach. She was probably the one I struggled with the most, since I so badly wanted to give her a short dress or one that is a 2-piece set. But after liking the other designs of the bunnies, I know I wanted to keep them the same lengths as each other since I wanted them to look cohesive. I did make her the eldest since without the sun there is nothing. Her being the summer bunny made her feel warm and homely. This part of the island that she has is filled with expressive bunnies and ones who enjoy a good party. This area is full of individuals who want to create more for their land and culture, making them rich in progression. Luby is the name I chose for the winter bunny, as it means snow, since she was formed in the blizzard that made this part of the island a long time ago. She was the easiest to design since I found a dress that I thought would perfectly suit the cold winters mixing in with the moonlight. She feels like the second oldest, as she is like the other half of Channy. It would be interesting to put them against each other as they are opposites, but I wanted to steer away from that stereotype of sisters and give them a bigger bond than the other 2 younger sisters. The part of the island that's filled with snow has given many bunnies a lot of time to just be indoors, so with adapting to that, many bunnies had ended up being smarter with all things containing hobbies. These hobbies ended up being the way to make money for them, especially as writers, artists, and music fanatics. It is the richest place in honing creative skills. Hazel is the name I chose for the fall bunny as she was born from a hazelnut tree. She is totally giving me middle child vibes with her being more quiet than the rest of her sisters. Fall is a place where there is a lot of strong individuals. They distribute the wood supply to most since it's the area with a lot of forest. With them needing the bunnies to be strong and healthy, there are many amazing cooks and bakers to have a balance for their strong bunnies to always be fed. They are rich in unity with one another. Now that I finished giving them a little intro, here's them all together. I will be going more in depth of how these 4 sisters have a school together that teaches the bunny prince and princesses how to run the lands. Let me know which is your favorite, and of course if you have any ideas for this bunny world, let me know down below because I love hearing what y'all have in mind. I did draw all the sisters together for a sort of family portrait that I will be using the next video for my bunny world. Thank you guys for watching and happy almost Halloween.